Another sip of tea. Okay, so a lot of people have asked for an update on the 16 valve project. Yeah, not so good. Better than no head, but that should be on a block. So it's not ideal because I'd like to be running 3 months ago. Basically, lots of problems, but I thought I'd give you a quick update. You can watch it in your own time rather than me having to copy and paste a reply to everyone that keeps asking on Facebook or Instagram or on YouTube about when this is going to be done. And briefly about why I'm doing something and why something broke. So there was a lot of damage to the head, a lot of damage to rockers, a lot of damage to followers, etc., and of course pistons as well. Thankfully the block wasn't damaged. We've replaced 2 pistons because they were damaged by the valves dropping down. The main cause we believe were the uprated valve springs, which we don't have anymore because they're useless to us. They weren't quite right, and now seeing the second batch, which is sort of Evolution 2 version of them, so much better. They've been clearly made a lot better and a slightly better design as well. Some testing was done on the head as well to see exactly what poundage of spring basically was required. I'll show you a bit closer up now. We've got the original and the replacement. So that's what I've been waiting for. Also the head's been repaired as well. You saw some damage on the head. Unfortunately it's taken a bit of a bash in the courier on the way, but there we go. I can repair that. So why am I uprating the springs? A few people said just stick the original springs in and come with it, you know, deal with the problem when you get to it. However, I know it's a problem, a little bit like I know the conrods are a little bit susceptible, even the 16 valve HDR conrods. So I know these two things are very integral. They're right in the guts of the engine. So if I do the valve springs and I do the rod, I've kind of future-proofed the main engine. Now, I know where the real problems are going to be is the fuel system, but you can just pull injectors out and put new injectors in, fuel pumps right there, having to strip the engine down again as soon as we know we're going to be having floating valve. Why uprate the springs? Let me just quickly show you the difference. So here on the left is our uprated spring, and on the right is the original. You can see there's less coils in this one, but the coils are much, much thicker. So this one here, I can squeeze quite comfortably with one hand. Not flat, I know. And in this hand, try and do the same. I have to use both hands to get any squeeze on it. With both hands on this, I can practically compress that one. That's the difference. So why the difference? Well, you get valve float. There's 2 main conditions, as far as my understanding goes, for this. RPM, i.e. the speed of the engine, and boost. Or a combination of those 2. RPM is quite common and heard about because you get racing engines at very high RPM and the valves float. Basically, the spring can't shut the valve quick enough before the lobers come round and try to open the valve again. So you basically just get valves that are open. You obviously get an instant power loss and you get a really weird sound. In fact, if you go back to a race tractor and the dyno, not a Darren, well at Darren's you can just hear it, but also the original dyno pill, the early one, you can actually hear it floating its valves on the 12 valve. That was from too much boost, and the chart just drops because obviously there's no power because the air coming in and going straight back out again. So it comes from RPM, but boost too. Now that can happen on the inlet or the exhaust. So what can happen is you have too much exhaust manifold pressure, so that's between the face or the rear of the face of the exhaust valve and the exhaust compressor, and the pressure builds up. And you need that pressure to spin the turbo, but if the pressure builds up too greatly, then you've got pressure building up, basically a jet of air on the back of the exhaust valve keeping it open. It won't shut because the valve isn't strong enough, or so much boost on the inlet that it's holding inlet valves open. Now my expertise don't go far enough to say exactly which happens with this, but we do know it happens. And why do we know? Well, thanks to Darren, to be honest. So he has tested these many years ago and has his car today because of it, really, and we're thankful to him for doing it, for finding these sort of things out. So this uprated spring is good for 60 or 65 psi, which sounds a lot, and I don't think I'll ever be putting that much down the inlet. That's crazy power. That is Darren Lob power. However, you'd be surprised how much spike of exhaust manifold pressure you get from a VNT to spool it up. I'm not saying you get 60 psi, but you probably wouldn't get too far off. Hence you need the heavy valve spring. So that's cleared that up. Heavy valve springs, because those are rubbish. Those springs, good. So I need to put those in the head, I'm not going to show you that bit. I need to do that little repair there. I'm going to shove those valve springs in. You've already seen me do that. Go back to a few videos ago and you saw that. And then I'm going to shove this head onto the 16 valve at some point. My life is hectic at the moment. Family in hospital, so much going on, so much decorating, builders. It's a nightmare. I will try and get this done as soon as possible. Now, as soon as the head's on, I will start the video again, and hopefully we'll get a first start, a much more successful first start than our original 25 first starts, which never really came to anything other than it destroying itself. In the meantime, there are some other few things going on, a few little bits of videos and pictures, etc., that I'll try and keep you entertained with. However, in the interim, since perhaps you lost in the last 16 valve video, I have hit 2,000 subscribers. And for that, I got myself a mug. If you watch Piggy Power at all, you know I like my cup of tea. Who can live without it? So I got some Piggy Power mugs just to celebrate that I've hit 2,000 subscribers, really. You can get your own. Please go to the Facebook page and request. I actually have beanies, caps, I have got some t-shirts, and I can even get some hoodies at the moment. And you can get yourself a Piggy Power sticker as well. I must get some sort of shop going so that people can just go there, but people have been asking. And I'm going to do a limited run of multicoloured stickers. At the moment I only do orange ones. But a few people, well, people keep requesting. So Piggy Power Official, I think, is the Facebook page. There's a group as well, and the page is what you want though. And there is an Instagram, piggy.power. I will put up about some merchandise about those multicoloured stickers, and there'll be a limited run of those. And then these mugs, get your hands on a Piggy Power mug, if that's what you like, obviously. I'm not doing wine glasses, I have had that requested, that's not happening. Like, when can I use a wine glass in here? That's just ridiculous. So that's a very long video. 16 valve head, valve springs going in within the next week, then the head can go on. The reason I've just explained for those is because boost, and 2,000 subscribers. Thanks everyone. Yeah, I should say that really. Thank you very much. It's 2,000 subscribers. There will be like a proper video. We're going to cook some bacon on some exhausts, that's the plan. So it'll be a proper like 2,000 subscribers, yay, video. But it's only a small milestone compared to some people who are getting like 2 million. But I'm not sure I could deal with that. So thank you for every one of you. I think we're about 2,030 or something now. That's amazing. Thanks for your support. Thanks for all the comments and your comments on Instagram and keeping up to date with Piggy Power points and all the rest of that. The Piggy points, the Power points. There will be some prizes. I'll do a little package at the end of this year and I'll calculate everyone's points, which is going to take me days because there's been a lot of them, and I'll work out who's on the leaderboard and I'll hand some prizes out. So you'll get something. Watch this space. Piggy out.